I very clearly and very transparently want you to know that I took a good piss before recording this video. That was blissful. Wow. Only if you understood the lyrics and the context of what they're listening to, you'd be amazed. I mean, if you're interested, you can ask me in the comments, or I can give you a few clues to familiarize you with the context. But anyways, I have had quite a clear idea on what I'm going to be talking about in this video. Let me see if that still resonates. My heart says yes, it absolutely does. And this feeling in my chest immediately let me know that it does resonate. And although we started the video on a ironic, playful, tongue-in-cheek manner, let's get serious for now. So the idea I had for recording this is what I'm going to be laying out for you now. It's not something I want to give you in a quick, soluble formula. It's something I want to go with you in depth. So, as I've been walking through the city, I'm in a big park now. As I've been walking through the city, I have noticed that I don't feel safe. A thought crossed my mind that pretty much all the time that I'm out of my home, it's my parents' home, and I don't believe in possessions. The concept of possession as an absolute, I think it's a very much relative thing, and a social agreement is like Santa Claus. But either way, pretty much all the time that I'm out of home, all the time, I feel unsafe to some degree. And sometimes I feel less unsafe, and sometimes I feel more unsafe. But the bottom line is I feel unsafe more or less all the time when I'm out of home. And even at home, I used to feel very unsafe, I would say. And what is the reason to that? What is the reason for that is actually what I wanted to start the discussion with. So as I was walking through the city, I realized that I sense or feel a lot of malicious energy from people. I realized that I feel a lot of malicious energy from people. this is honestly how I feel, and I want to lay it out to you exactly as it is. We may argue, that it's a projection. I'm projecting hostility onto other people, etc. We could talk about that, right? Or we could, investigate reasons. We could lean towards that conclusion or entertain that as possibly being true. But that's not quite what I'm talking about. I'm talking about my subjective experience. So, walking through the city, I live in the capital of Tajikistan. Dushanbe, it's called. Duchanbe. Dushanbe. That means Sunday, I think. And today is Sunday, ironically. This wasn't planned. I think it means Sunday. Or Wednesday was? I think it's Sunday. Sunday, I'm pretty sure it is. As I was walking through the city, I felt a lot of malicious energy, malicious intent from other people. I felt that their energy was hostile. I feel like, to a large degree, people here are in fight or flight, in a fight or flight mode, and I've noticed that the women here are more in flight mode. This is my subjective observation, and the men are more in fight mode. But either way, it's the mode of survival. And I've noticed that when I deliberately enter the fight mode of survival, when I toughen up, the experience tends to be more peaceful. I don't feel that much malicious intent from people then. When I toughen up, when I arrange my energy in a way that is very assertive and ready to get down at any moment. And by get down, I mean charge into confrontation. So when I'm adopting a confrontational attitude, my experience tends to be more smooth in that, although I feel somewhat angry, like my baseline becomes pissed, people tend to treat me better. But by treat me, I don't quite mean behavior, although I do subtle behaviors. What I mean first and foremost is attitude. So I felt a lot of malicious energy from people, malicious intent, and I've noticed that for when I enter that mode, when I enter that survival energy, when I'm ready to confront, when I have that confrontational, gritty, I'm ready to fight kind of energy, and then it gets better. Now, But when I don't enter that, when I don't enter survival mode by default, and when I'm just being myself, and I'm in other states, or I'm not in any particular state, I'm just being. I don't know if just being counts, but when I'm being in other states than survival, what tends to happen is people, I feel maliciousness from men. I feel that the men are looking at me hostile, like they want a problem with me or something like that. And some of the girls, they either, look at me judgmentally, or the younger girls, I feel like they're laughing at me for some reason. I know how this might come across, and I know how this might sound. Paranoia, right? This is my subjective experience. I'm not here trying to proclaim what the objective reality is, right? In this particular case, at least, not in this video. I'm not trying to do that. I'm not trying to, tell you the truth. No, I'm telling you about my experience as I experience it. This is very important. So what I feel like is either I have to be in survival mode, in survival energy, and just stay at home and not go anywhere, or go elsewhere as little as possible. Or when I go out, I have to be tough, I have to be strong, I have to be exuding that assertiveness. And believe me, I can do that. I'm not saying I'm a gangster. I'm not saying I'm the toughest motherfucker in the world. I'm saying I know how to assert myself. That is what I'm saying. I know how to exude confidence. I know how to exude surety. I know what is grit. I know what is virility. I know to embody that. I have done that. I have experience with this. I can do this. But I don't want to live in this energy because I feel pressured by the environment. I don't want to adapt. I don't want to adapt like that. Either way, my main point is I disagree. I disagree. This is very subtle, and I disagree. I disagree with the dog eat dog mentality. I disagree with the eat or be eaten mentality. And people are not eating people here, not physically. They're not doing that. And physical fights I don't see them that much, if I'm being honest, because the control is very strong. But I feel like there's just a lot of emotional violence in the air. Honestly, that's what I feel, and I just disagree with that. I don't want to be in it. If this is the environment that has collectively chosen to dwell in survival mode, whether consciously or unconsciously, if this is the environment that has collectively chosen to adopt the dog eat dog, eat or be eaten, kill or be killed kind of mentality and attitude, whether that be physically, emotionally, mentally, I don't want to be in this environment. I don't want to be in this environment, and this whole video this whole video is my soul and just screaming to be out. At the very bottom, at, at the very bottom of my being, at the very core of my being, I just want to be out of here. I just want to be out of here. I just want to be out of the paradigm of maliciousness in any form. God has blessed me that God has blessed me in that I have not seen as much physical malice as other people have seen. And like people that have major PTSD because of the environments that I've grown up in. Gang infested, crime infested, violent crime infested areas. But I've seen emotional violence a lot on the day to day. Too much. I've seen sexual violence. And I've seen mental violence. I don't want to see it anymore. The bad is calling me. And I know where I do not want to be. I do not want to be in survival mode, whether it be internally or in environments that are very much survival driven. That is where I don't want to be. But the question is where I do want to be. I want to be in environments that are empathy driven, empathy driven, love driven, compassion driven, authenticity driven, mutual understanding driven. Benevolence driven. I want to be in an empathetic environment. I don't want to save anybody. I don't want to save anybody. I don't own this place. What I meant to say is I don't owe anything to this place. These are just Freudian slips at this point because I dove very deep into my subconscious mind. or whatever. I want to be in an empathetic environment. I don't want people above me. I don't want people beneath me. I want people facing me. And I want to extend my hand to them. And I want them to extend their hand to me. And I want to look them in the eyes and forget this like it was a bad dream. I need to get the fuck out of here.